All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So I am out on location. I am off, and for the Thanksgiving holidays with my family down here in Georgia. So I will be down here for about another week or two, and I'm on location. So now let's talk about the WNBA. WNBA CBA negotiations has been an ongoing thing. We already know it was a big whole hoopla mess throughout the season and the end of the season. And plus, they was able to get a extension done for set for November the 30th. Now, with that being said, the WNBPA could cancel at any time. But the latest situation is that they are in a new proposal by the WNBA has surfaced last night, and a lot of talks of it been on today. Now, I read over it last night, looked into it a little bit more, a little bit deeper. And first, let me say this: I kept telling y'all there was never going to be a lockout. I was not the only creator has said this, but I've been telling y'all the WNBA is not going to lock out. They can't. They can't afford to. The players can't afford to because where they gonna get money from? They can't wait all the way to January to play in on rival, and then there's a lockout. They're not getting no money. Then you got players that's not really getting no money. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? These players need this deal done. Now, like I said, I looked over this deal. I think it's substantial. I think it's great for them. If they don't take this deal, then that's on them. But don't think that the WNBA, because there is no deal in place and they going to say, well, a lockout comes up, whatever. This is something that they need to do. They need to work out. So let's take a look real quick at some of this stuff real quick so I could go over it with y'all. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, hold on for this. All right. There was one part I needed to put up on here and I didn't get it in there. Dang it. Oh my goodness gracious Jesus. Well, I guess I won't be able to get that part in now. Anyway, so this talks about, well, before I even get into that real quick, I need to get to the main part that I was really hoping to nail down real quick for y'all. And it's so the the AP source came out and said that the WNBA proposal, CBA proposal, revenue sharing will provide a max salary of more than $1.1 million plus a minimum salary worth more than 220K. An average player salary was more than 460K, starting in the first year increase of the future year of the revenue growth. Now, what that means is that in the first year, you getting that. You're getting that in the first year, right? Now, if you think about it, go back to the last CBA. That was supposed to be the model the first time around. The league was supposed to grow each year from 2019 on up until this next CBA ended. It didn't happen. They didn't see any significant growth until Caitlin Clark came in the league in 2024. So you look at it like this. So the players will sit back and say, oh, well, the league making money, but they didn't want to give Caitlin Clark any credit of that during that time until this year. The feature Carly started going out here and talking about, oh, she bringing all of this money in. Her and Kathy Ingeberg talking about, well, Caitlin Clark need to be grateful and all of this stuff. So now they want to piggyback off of that. They want to capitalize on Caitlin Clark's money. You know what I'm saying? How she brought money into the league. Now, Caitlin Clark is all for women's sports, making more money. Let's not get that twisted. You know what I'm saying? She's not a selfish player. She rather the league make more money than she make more money because she's getting money off the court. Let's not BS about that. She is getting money off the court. But nevertheless, when all these other rumors about her going to Arrival, going to Project B, going to Project C or D, F, G, what the hell ever, it's not going to happen. Caitlin Clark dedication lies with the WNBA. And if she's can make the WNBA successful and by any means necessary, then that's what it is. Now, so my question is this: with that $1.1 million salary increase, does it come with bonuses? Say, for instance, how the NBA players and NFL players get signed to a big contract. Say they get 160 million, but probably 90 of that is bonus money up front. Could that be something structured for the WNBA? Instead of signing them to a big contract like that, hey, half of that we sign you to this, but half of that is going to be bonus money. Then we stretch out the rest of your contract throughout the years, say 3 to 4 years. That's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? That's a possibility. Then what about the rookie contracts? Is the rookies is going to get that's coming out this season coming up? Are they going to get a big increase? Are you going to restructure the current rookie contracts from 2024, like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cam Brink, and Rickea Jackson, so forth and so on? Are you going to adjust those? Are you going to adjust the rookie class from this past season as well? Are you going to structure the the roster from 12 to 15? Then you got to look at it also. What is the team salary cap money going to be? I said that they need to have $4 to $6 million of salary cap on it, because they was getting 1 to 2, and it was enough now of money, because when they sign half of these players, it eats up. If you look at the Indiana Fever the past 2 years, Lynn Dunn signed some really bad contracts with Erica Wheeler, Christy Wallace, Katie Lou Samuelson, them. And it kind of handicapped the Fever for this past all season to really go after some players that they really wanted to, but they end up signing some players that really didn't fit the team. And they end up giving them big contracts, and they couldn't do it, and they couldn't even keep the rookies on the team that they probably wanted to be on this team. Now, say for instance, if you have a salary cap like that, say 6 million, now you could up your roster to at least 14 to 15. You could sign free agents. You could sign players like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hall. Then you have money to bring back a person like Sophie Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? Then you could draft and sign your rookies and develop your rookies. And when you won't have to be going out there and getting some hardship player and hoping they pan out. Now, all of these players are free agents, by the way. All of them free agents, by the way. How each team is going to pay them is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be interesting because guess what? Everybody can't make $1 million on the team. Everybody can't, and half of them ain't worth $1 million anyway. So let's take a look at this real quick, because you know how I just be going in. I be going in. I be going in. So now some of this has to deal with the prioritization rule, and this came out today. The prioritization rule is a set of rules that require the WNBA players to compete in other leagues to show up in time for the WNBA training camp, or else be suspended for the season. So, and this says a few points from ESPN's latest update I found noteworthy. So, became a controversial topic after it was introduced in the latest CBA, but it is unlikely owners will want to loosen those rules. Now, me personally, I would not loosen that rules, because if you want to make more money and you want to play overseas or all these other leagues, guess what? You need to show up for training camp. You know why? Because if you look at the past year and the years before, they came back hurt. Some of the international players didn't even come over. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this here. You have to have some kind of limitation to what you want your league to be in the process. Then it says the league hard cap and 12-player roster limits many franchises for carrying only 11 players, which the Indiana Fever was one of them this year. They was one of those players this year. Like I said, if you have a roster up to 13, 14 to 15, the draft picks that you got you was able to sign them, you wouldn't have to worry about it. And then there's certain free agencies. If you have a great enough cap, you could really go after free agency the way you really want to bring players in to boost your team up. You know what I'm saying? Now teams like the Aces, Minnesota, Phoenix, maybe New York, they are going to have a hard time retaining a lot of talent. You know why? Because if they don't have enough salary cap to bring them back, they teams is going to take a big, big, big hit. Now, also, a source told ESPN that draft eligibility hasn't been a meaningful topic of discussing in the negotiations this far. Now that came about because Juju Watkins, who got hurt, but she was talking about, she might wanted to come out early, but the league doesn't allow her to come out early like that. You know what I'm saying? So it limits them. Now you probably would have had a lot of young talent come into the league early, and they say they play 3 years in college and able to come out. Then you have a whole bolster. The league is bolstered with nothing but young guns, nothing but young guns, and that's what the league needs to shift anyway. Move on for some of these older cats, these older cougars in the league, and bring some of these young talent in and have this league reset fresh faces and new audience to enjoy the college style of the WNBA, not the old broken down nursing home WNBA. Now, I'm going to this one. Now, this guy named Doug, he wrote this article right here. He said the latest WNBA collective bargaining proposal would include revenue sharing with a maximum salary of more than 1.1 million available for more than one player per team. One player per team. So if you look at the Indiana Fever, most likely Kelsey Mitchell, for what she did this past season, she probably be that $1 million. But me personally, I would renegotiate Caitlin Clark's rookie contract and put her up in that category. Depends on what the salary cap is. Then you got to renegotiate Leah Boston's, all of them. Then you look at Aces with Asia Wilson. She's probably the only one on that team that's going to get $1 million. I don't think Chelsea Gray. Now she could get close to it. Chelsea Gray probably be the second highest on that team. You look at New York. You got Jockwell, Sabrina, and Brianna on that team. Are you gonna pay each one of them? You can't. There's only one person on the team can get that. So it says each more than one player per team growing each year. According to the person familiar with the negotiations on Tuesday night, WNBA officials updated the board on the latest proposal and meeting this week. The person told the Associated Press conditions of anonymity because ongoing negotiations are private. The new league minimum will be more than 2,200 and with a average of more than 46K. The numbers will start for the first year of the deal for more than 180 players and increase over length of the CBA. People familiar with the WNBA latest proposal described the plan to the AP as a highly lucrative package, providing substantial increase over prior years and designed to bring negotiations to a quicker conclusion. Now, with that being said, folks, me personally, I think that they need to take this deal. I think they need to take this deal. If they stall this deal any longer, then I think another push out could be to the December 30th. But this is a final boss deal right here. If you ever played the game or you listen to WWE, this is a final boss move. The WNBA saying, look, you take this deal, we not going for anything else. This is the final offer. This is the final countdown. The WNBA, I said all along, and I'm gonna continue to say it till I'm blue in the face, and God knows I'm never gonna turn blue in the face. The WNBA are preparing themselves for life after, if there becomes a lockout. If there becomes a lockout, They already have a plan in place. Trust you and me when I tell you this. Now, if they take this deal and there's no lockout, then we ain't got to worry about it. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is your Midday Wednesday edition. I'm on location, Live Wire Sports Media. You know what it is. If it ain't live, it's the wire.